Today I would like to introduce to you Never Make a Movie That Provokes a Woman, Mad Max. For futures. The outbreak of nuclear war caused global water shortages. A water war is imminent. And those who have access to water. In this world surrounded by dead Sahara Desert, the greatest king. As the century collapses, humans have been completely reduced to savages, mutual atrocities. Protagonist Max used to be an ordinary highway cop. When the world goes bad, after humans became monsters, he embarked on the road of wandering, and often hunted by monsters, because monsters believe only the continuous blood of healthy humans, in order to provide effective treatment for their illness. The monsters chasing Max have a leader, Passion Man. Undead Joe rules. Immortal Joe married 12 wives. Let them have children. Then drink their milk. After a long time, Undead Joe gave birth to an entire monster kingdom. And I'm in charge of the water in this day of Sahara Desert, in the hearts of monsters. He is like a god. All his subordinates have the utmost respect for him, and praise this day. In Undead Joe, under the leadership of my most trusted subordinate, Osha, a group of escorts and chariots, heading for a distant destination. However, halfway through the drive, Osha changed direction. The men who didn't know why had to obey the orders. Follow behind him. Undead Joe saw it all through a telescope. He is in a hurry. He rushed into the locked room in panic. There is only one sentence written on the ground. Our children will never become warlords. Immortal Joe understood immediately. Osha not only betrayed herself, he also took his 5 youngest. Beautiful wife. Angry Undead Joe, immediately with the blood-boiling subordinates, driving a chariot, go after Osha. This is one time, the opportunity to showcase your skills in front of idols. All my men are eager to try. Want to rush to the front. Even sick. Nick, who needs blood transfusions every day, is not to be outdone. He will even serve as Max of his own bloodline, also brought to the battlefield together. Here when the bridge of the undead is trying to catch up, the other side, Osha's team also entered the enemy area because of and was attacked by a hedgehog cart. Osha accidentally tripped over a trap. I almost fell down with the person and the car. It is also because of the delay in this attack, leading to Osha's team, soon caught up by Nick and others. In order to use their own hands, bring the rebellion to Osha's arrest. Nick and others, working together to destroy the attacking Osha. The hedgehog cart. 3 people at a time, no one would let anyone. They are all chasing each other hard. At this critical moment, a huge sandstorm swept in. Those fragile chariots have long been caught by the wind and sand, devour clean. Only Nick and Osha. The initial tug-of-war is still going on. The desert is a mess after a death storm. There are fragments of chariots and human remains everywhere. But Max miraculously survived from the sand. He desperately wants to get out of here. But the chains around him, but tied up with Nick, can't be separated. The helpless Max can only drag the unconscious Nick. Leave together. Because of the death storm, there is also a problem with Osha's chariot. He had no choice but to park the car on the side of the road to repair it. Max dragged Nick here quietly. What he saw were the 5 wives of the Bridge of Immortality, standing in the desert initializing his body with water. Max threatened one of his wives with a gun. Unkind yourself. Me with the help of Nick, who was awakened by the splash, got Osha, and drove away his chariot. But the car broke down halfway through. Under Osha's negotiation, Max finally agreed to leave with them. And Nick, who was left behind, in a hurry, those who were in a hurry also climbed into the car, got a scarf from one of the wives. I'm in a hurry to go back and report to the Bridge of Immortality. Osha had negotiated with another group. Bring yourself enough fuel to dedicate to them, and the other person has to help themselves. Use gravel. Stop the pursuit of the Bridge of the Undead team. The group fulfilled their promise. But Osha temporarily backtracked, left with all the supplies. Betray race. Following Osha's car again, launched its furious attack. Undead Joe took Nick into his chariot. Take the lead in turning over the rocks, tracking down the 5 wives who escaped. Although Duzegao's methods are very spicy, but he doesn't want to hurt his wife. He was coerced by a pregnant wife. I don't dare to launch a large-scale attack. In desperation, just let Nick sneak into Osha's chariot. Destroy him in one fell swoop. But excited Nick hadn't taken a few steps. I tripped over the chain on my foot. Undead Xiao Jinchong could only shake his head and give up on him. In pursuit, Undead Zhou's men almost took the steering wheel from Max's hand. The steering wheel is back, but the beautiful pregnant wife at the Bridge of Immortality, but accidentally got down from the car, also involved in the Bridge of Immortality, in the wheels of the chariot. And to avoid hurting his wife, the Bridge of Immortality slammed the steering wheel, filled down with people and cars. But he still couldn't save his wife's life. It is also because of the death of his wife. Angry Undead Zhou, hurry up and kill Osha. But misfortunes don't come singly. At this moment, Osha's chariot was caught in the swamp. Fog ahead. A swamp with no clear direction. Behind is the motorcade chasing after the Bridge of Undying. No one knows at the moment, can they escape this disaster? Survive at this critical moment? Nick, who was hiding in the car, stepped forward. He uses the pull of the tree ahead, pulled the chariot out of the mud. Then it drives itself. Ling will help them escape the pursuit. Nick is in love with Undead Zhou, the beautiful red-headed wife. Worship and respect for idols. It's long gone in the face of love. After a long journey, Osha finally brings the wives of the Bridge of Immortality, came to his own tribe. Can't wait to show them. An oasis of pride. But the oasis has long been destroyed. Even most of their people died in the war. Osha, whose hopes were once again dashed, knelt in the day of Zahara, howling in pain for all that was lost. Wait until you calm down. He decided to take everyone to find a new way out. Just as he was leaving, Max came after him on a motorcycle. Since we need to find a way out, why don't you look? What about the tribes ruled by the Bridge of the Undead? There is an inexhaustible source of water, and an oasis that can be planted. All we have to do is throw everything away. Take a bold gamble. Under the persuasion of Max and his clan, Osha finally agreed to this crazy plan. They went back the same way, prepared to take down the unguarded stronghold at the moment. The Bridge of Immortality that perceives Osha's intentions. Follow closely. This is a hair-trigger war. In the end, who will die? Osha's chariot hasn't been on for long. It was destroyed under intense attacks. I can only rely on my clansmen to resist part of the artillery fire. Nick also got into the car quickly. Nervous maintenance of the dying engine Max is attracting most of his men outside the car. However, the situation is still not conducive, with only a small group of people. In the heat of battle, one of his wives was kidnapped by Undead Zhou's men. Osha is also protecting Max, not letting him fall under the car and get stabbed in the process. The rest of the tribe suffered heavy losses. The Bridge of the Undead took a head-to-head approach with his sturdy chariot. Hit Osha desperately. In desperation, Osha had to give up the driving position to Nick. Myself with Max, the chariot that climbed the Bridge of Immortality, with the concerted help of the wives, finally killed the Bridge of Immortality, and Nick bought them time. He also chose to perish with the men of the Bridge of Immortality. Max and Osha will take the bodies of the Bridge of the Undead, brought back to base camp. The poor people oppressed by the Bridge of the Undead swarm up. I can't wait to dismember him. Death in the belly. They're drinking from the top of their heads. Clean water pouring down. Cheering excitedly and enjoying. And in the cheers of the Dea Zahara Desert. Max left here in silence. This is not his final destination. The future of life still awaits him to continue exploring. There's an old saying, where is the oppression? Where there is resistance. Collapse all over the world. Women are reduced to reproductive tools, without the torture of human rights and freedoms. Weak them will train yourself into the most lethal strength, fiercely stabbing at the enemy who is hurting him. Don't underestimate a woman's determination and endurance. Their anger will set the whole world on fire. Even if you sacrifice everything, you will achieve the final victory. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you find it interesting, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any videos.